All right. Let's see. Hey, brothers, double check. See if it's up.
Magic City, bro. Yeah. The Lord gonna give us spiritual powers, bro.
It says we're live.
Magicians all over again.
Test 1 2.
Yes, for sure.
All right. It's working now. Okay. Bear with me one moment. I want to see with the mic. All right. It's working now. Okay. Bear with me one moment. I want to test 1 2.
Everybody can have their phone.
Joint sound like a cipher.
It works.
Yeah, right.
I think I have to take off the Bluetooth, turn it off, and then it looks like it's working now.
Oh, okay. Trying to get sound from this.
Yeah, I can hear now. Okay, that was it.
Come on.
Figured it out. That was it. Bluetooth off.
You got it, some up.
Okay. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises and all glory to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to sincere Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai's sake.
That's right.
Hey, we're the brothers from GMS Miami once again. This time we're doing a sit down. But we're going to go into a topic, which I call a spicy topic, regarding all these elites coming down here and basically setting up shop regarding the choosing Miami for the financial, hub of America. We have the beloved Ash here, who actually was at this conference. It was called the American Business Forum. It happened last week, and he basically, heard and saw what these elites, all right, were talking about regarding Miami, America, and the world itself. Everything digital, everything AI, all right? What the scriptures talk about that, hey, this devil, he has a short time, so he's going to cause everyone, all right, to get into this digital prison for that RFID chip, the mark of the beast. So, Ash, you want to take it away?
Right. So, basically, due, to my job, I was able, I ain't buy a ticket to go. I was there. I got to be there. Right? And, so, I didn't know what it was about. First and foremost, I didn't know what it was about. I was just, another day at the job. And, first off, the funny thing is, because the day before I did a video on Trump, and I was meditating on Trump. So I got to work the next day, and I just see Secret Service everywhere. Dogs everywhere, bomb sniffing dogs and weapon sniffing dogs and whatnot. But I'm noticing this ain't regular police, these are Secret Service. I know Secret Service is for presidents, ex-presidents. So I said to myself, only thing I knew that it was some type of business forum, which of course they have these different business forums all the time in different places. But when I seen Secret Service, I said, okay, shit, Trump must be here, right? Gonna find out Trump was there speaking. And he didn't lead it off, but it was a 2-day forum, and you had everybody from Trump, Jeff Bezos. He gave the final word. Who else was there?
Jamie Dimon,
mm-hmm. Head of J.P. Morgan Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Who else was there?
Oh, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
The Arab. I call him the Arab banker, Fahad Hassel. He represents Saudi Arabia, okay, and he actually spoke at this conference and basically was saying they're investing, all right, literally billions to trillions into America, more specifically Miami, and he even said he wants they chose Miami because it's going to be a bridge to South America, which it goes according to the scriptures about Arabs pitching their tent, So that was a major interview, because it goes to show you that these heathens, like the scripture said, they fell in love with the whore. They
Right.
what's it called?
They drunk of the wine.
The drug of the wine,
for fornication.
for fornication. Okay, the water of it. So yeah, you got it, Osh, but just want to make that point. Yep.
Right. Tony Robbins,
Mm-hmm.
Eric Schmidt,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then they threw in a couple, entertainers, Serena Williams. But basically, it was like a mini World Economic Forum
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, right? And they have the whole backdrop, the stage, and the way it's set up. They talked about it openly, AI, right? But the whole theme of it was AI and a lot of like high tech type of stuff, right? What it came to my mind was the Stargate program, which Trump had mentioned it. Him and Elon was talking about it a lot back when Elon was in the White House. Which you go into that Stargate program, there's a lot dealing with AI. It had a number of 500 billion, something like that. A project where they were merging AI with the healthcare system and going a lot into the Myrna, say it like that, the Myrna jabs, creating different Myrna jabs for all type of things, right? And they actually had stars, and they had people coming out of the speakers. They were coming out of like portals. They were showing straight up portals, and they just like manifest and come out, right? And I had a good view. The spirit had me inside, right? Because I could have been outside, but the spirit had me inside. So it was different speakers. They were all talking about different things, but it were really all along the same lines. And the guy Fahad, he's not the head of what they call PIF, which is a private investment firm, but he's like one of the head managers, and it's a Saudi Arabian company, well, fund, private investment fund. And again, like you said, they were investing a lot of money. They said outside of Saudi Arabia, America is their number one investment. Mm-hmm. So, also too, like we said,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have his garb,
Yeah,
that traditional garb. That's the first thing I noticed when he got on stage. And the main person that was interviewing these people, because they were like doing interview style with these different people, was Mayor Suarez. Right? Mayor Suarez, which is the mayor of Miami,
Mm-hmm.
he was interviewing these different people. And Trump was bigging them up. They were talking about how under Suarez's leadership, he has taken Miami from basically a tourist attraction into a leader, or the leader in finance and tech, right, and culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Trump got on stage. When Trump got on stage, and he did his Trump thing, theatrics. He's all about theatrics. He all about the spotlight and whatnot. But Trump was talking about different things. He basically came out and was saying straight up that Miami is basically the new New York,
Mm-hmm.
really, because they kept showing clips. Like in between speakers, they kept showing different clips. And one clip they kept showing was Mayor Suarez going to New York and walking around Wall Street and looking around like, basically, what can I take?
Extrapolate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What can I extrapolate? And it was kind of like looking dead. And then he came back to Miami, and you just see everything bustling.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, you know what that symbolizes, right? And even Trump said it out of his own mouth that New York is dead. You saying, you know, he said, I love New York, but it's been taken over by, you know, by the Democrats. They ran it down, right? But Trump was talking about a lot of different things. I think he spoke more than anybody, pretty much. He spoke about he was talking about AI, right? He was talking about, of course, you know, business and finance. He was bigging up Suarez, right? He was talking about how how they, even with what's going on now with ICE and cleaning up the streets. He mentioned blacks. He said, I'm the president with the most votes of the blacks. And then after that, he said also of the Hispanic population, but he put more emphasis. Like when he said blacks, he kind of like downplayed it, but when he said Hispanics, he put more emphasis on it. Because there was a lot of, basically it was Hispanics and Amalekites. You know, Edomites as well, regular Edomites, but basically those three were the main people there. And also he had this guy, the president of Argentina there. He also had, they also had Lionel Messi there. He spoke. So you could tell they were catering to the northern population. They mentioned how Miami would basically be the bridge from America, North America to South America, right? Which near the location, they have arches being built, which we know what the arch go back to, right? Really, it goes back to, we really look into it, goes back into like Freemasonry, right? Which we know an arch is a bridge, but you have something called the Royal Arch, or the Royal Arc, however you say it, going into astrology, right? Which we know these devils, that's how they don't talk about these things openly,
Right.
but behind closed doors, that's really what they are into. Occult knowledge, you know, this and that, right? He also spoke about going to war, in between the lines, going to war with Venezuela, right? He mentioned how Maduro, they were coming hard at Maduro because they had a woman speak who was one of the leading politicians in Venezuela, but she's opposed to Maduro. And I think through the spirit, I forget her name, Maria, Michelle, something like that. She is going to be, well, she just won a Nobel Prize, Nobel Peace Prize. I believe through the spirit that they could take out Maduro, they're going to install her as the next leader. But they kept saying how Maduro is basically funding and protecting these cartels, and that the cartels are, you know, terrorists. And, you know, that sets precedent, like we were talking about earlier. Anybody deemed as a terrorist, they can go to war. Because he mentioned how, you know, recently they've been dropping those bombs on these ships, on these drug boats and whatnot. And he said, look at it this way: every boat we bomb, we save 25,000 Americans, right? So he spoke about that. He spoke about going back ICE. He mentioned how we cleaned up Washington. You know, it's beautiful now, DC. And then he mentioned Chicago. We cleaned up Chicago. He said we got some cleaning up to do in Miami as well. So expect, you know, more ICE presence down here. And of course, they have plans for this city because through the spirit, a lot of these different cities has passed their time.
Yep.
You know, New York has basically passed its time. Chicago, they get ready, they taking that out, right? And again, with Mayor Suarez, they kept showing clips of him going to New York and looking around, you know, basically seeing what he could extrapolate from New York. And it was showing like New York looking like dead. And him coming back to Miami and bringing it to life. And Trump, right, Trump kept bigging this guy Suarez up. How he is the reason for Miami's growth, right? So he said he took Miami from a tourist attraction to the head basically of the financial realm in America and tech and also culture, which we know Jeff Bezos moved down here. He moved, you know, his headquarters down here, which Jeff Bezos, he's from down here, right? Right. So they kept hinting at that. So also, what else he was talking about?
Ash, if I can
No,
add,
please.
you know, and brothers, remember, and y'all, I should remember, Francis Suarez was at the World Economic Forum 2 years
Right,
ago.
yes.
Yep.
You know?
The mayor of Miami.
Yeah,
He was at the WEF, the World Economic Forum.
yeah.
Yep.
So that was a major sign that, you know, why Miami has been sought out as basically, as we like to say, the last tit, you know, last milk to suck out of America, you know. Also the arches, I know you referenced the occult. I remember sending y'all brothers the architect's idea behind those arches, and he's saying he represents waters because of all the different cultures and diversity, which goes back to Babylon the Great, the whore that sat upon many waters. Okay, so Miami has been, you know, has been elevated to be. It's looking like, you know, this is the spot, you know, for America, for Murph, for you know, living that so-called life, you know, which we know this shit is an illusion. We're down here. We know this shit is bullshit. But you did mention, Ash, regarding all the what was discussed, the AI, the tech. Now I did watch just Fahad. Was it Fahad?
Yeah, Fahad something.
Fahad something. I saw his conference interview. He did mention that they're investing in America in AI. They're also investing, what's it called, in different technology aspects. And then he said bio ETS, bio. You know what that means? The body. You know. So that's a code. That's got to be code word for the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. Okay. So he did say that as well. That Saudi Arabia is behind it. Now, to emphasize, he did all, because I was watching that conference. He did say that Saudi Arabia and the Arab nations have their own agenda. It's called Vision 2030. Right. It's the same thing as the Agenda 2030 from the United Nations. So as you can see, all these nations, all these heathens, like in Psalms 83, are in cahoots with each other. Okay, to bring about the New World Order. All right, and it's all backed by an RFID chip, the mark of the beast. Come, bring out the scriptures.
Psalm 2:1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing?" And what they're conjuring up and what they're thinking of is vain, because it's not going to come fully into fruition. You know, this is what we see these elites doing, from the World Economic Forum to the conference that the brother just went to. These are things that the Lord is going to interrupt. He's going to interrupt all these things. You know, before it's all said and done, they won't be able to fill their belly. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together. And the people who rule are the people who got the money. You know, that's who rule the nations. That's who rules what's going on and make pieces move. The people who got the money. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. You know, so that's what they're doing in all these different conferences and all these things that they're going up against the Lord's plan.
Right.
And by this time, they done heard the prophets. They done heard the prophets in Miami.
Of course.
You know,
Right. And it's all spiritual that this is all happening, because for years we've always said it, like, you know, Miami is not only a growing city, but a lot of people are moving down here.
Yep.
Okay, you have you know, what's known as the New York California exodus, which I'll actually just pull that up real quick. All right, it goes into how there's a mass out migration from places like New York and California, and even certain more northern states and areas like Chicago, you know, DC, Boston, you know, Philly, you know, but mainly New York and California. And they're moving, all right, towards places like Florida and Texas. All right, and matter of fact, I'll just read it. It says the New York California exodus refers to a trend of residents leaving New York and California, largely driven by the high cost of living and taxes. So this is all by design.
Right.
Okay. All right. I know myself, and you know, telling brothers down here, like, we're coming to a time where a lot of brothers from these northern states and northern regions are going to really start moving down to places like Texas, to places like Georgia, to places like Florida. Okay, in alignment with and accordance with this trend that's happening. Okay, all right, and it really got exasperated and exposed during the C-19, because I remember during the COVID-19, you know, pandemic, the C-19 pandemic. Hopefully they don't clip the video, but
No.
you know, one of the only places that was still left thriving and bustling was South Florida. Really, Florida in general. Florida didn't really get shut down like that. You know, Texas too. Texas, but Florida was live.
Yep.
Okay, bro, it was so many people coming down from Pennsylvania, coming down from Philly, coming down from Boston, coming down from New York, Maine, coming down from Chicago, you know, coming down from all these different parts of the country, you know, to South Florida, to Miami mainly, but also to Broward County, Palm Beach County, Orlando, Texas, and still have not gone back. Okay, so again, all of this is by design. The destruction of and you know, breaking down of these other cities like New York, like Chicago, like LA, like San Francisco, San Diego. This is all deliberate, like Las Vegas, to force them to leave. Okay, so that they can come and migrate down here to the more southern states and partake of this beast system that's being set up. Okay.
I say a testimony to your point is the traffic.
Yeah.
You look at the traffic down here now.
It's getting worse.
It's like New York and Chicago. It's like crazy. Last 50 years, the traffic is like a beast kind of thing down here.
Yeah, it's horrible. Okay. Now, with that being said, I do want to bring out some scriptures, because Second Ezra does talk about the breaking down of these cities. Okay. Second Ezra chapter 15. Okay. And let's see, verse 14, right? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, so with all this chaos breaking loose and erupting in the world, whether you want to talk about financial strain, the cost of living going up, whether you want to talk about violence, this is forcing people to leave certain cities. Okay, whenever you have commotion and violence and it's civil unrest, people are not going to just stay there. People are going to want to leave. Okay, they're going to migrate to other places. Okay, so again, this is all by design. This is all according to biblical prophecy. All right, now,
If I might say again,
go ahead, brother.
that's like I said, people gonna migrate to different places.
Mhm.
With like with ice, how they being in California
Mhm.
and places like that. Those Northern Kingdom, they flee in those areas.
Yeah.
They're afraid to come out of their house to send their kids to school,
Yeah.
and they find it elsewhere to go live because look what's happening.
Yeah.
You got soldiers all around them, ice.
That's right.
You see?
Mhm.
Salakia, we were talking about a camp today. You have 200,000 people applied to ICE.
Mm-hmm.
200,000 Americans applied for ICE.
Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Or niggas just need it. You want that $50,000 bonus.
Cost of living.
They might not give a damn, but they want that bread.
God. Also, Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, I want to bring this out too. It says, it says in verse, I'll start at verse 27. It says, so that one shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rock. All right, so you're gonna have certain cities that are so dilapidated that people are not gonna live there anymore. Mm-hmm. They're gonna want to leave. Yep. Okay. Now, granted, you know, we from what we are gathering, it's looking like Miami is gonna be one of those main cities that still remain, because you gotta understand, when the Lord comes back, there's still gonna be parts of the earth and parts of Babylon that are still thriving. That's why the scriptures talk about. You know, they shall be marrying and giving it to bring it out. You know,
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 37. But as the days, it was just Yahweh speaking. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
There you go. So when the Yahweh comes back, you're going to still have certain parts of Babylon the Great that still thriving, and other parts that are not. Okay? You know, you go, shit, bro, all hell is about to break loose, man. And certain cities are not being chosen to move along into this new world order with everyone else. I always say this, the elites don't give a fuck about people. All right, they don't care. When we read about how the scriptures say he causes both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and then in their forehead, that's the goal for everybody to be forced in the position that they have to take the chip. But that doesn't mean that they want everybody to come along.
Right.
Okay? The amount of chaos that they're gonna bring, they're hoping and really banking on the fact that a lot of people are gonna die.
Right, they want to depopulate
a
lot of people.
They want to depopulate people, and they want to use that chaos as a catalyst, as a driving force to scare people, okay, into desperation and make them want to take the chip rather than have to force everybody and track. Nah, fuck that. They don't give a fuck. They'd rather kill the majority of you motherfuckers, and then the ones of you that survive, y'all gonna be so traumatized and wanting some sense of normalcy and provision that you're gonna beg for the chip. Okay? And you're gonna run to these population hubs like Miami, like Orlando, like Dallas, like Houston, and these, you know what I'm saying? Especially up north. The shit hit the fan up north, the grid go out up there, death. Especially in the cold.
Brothers have been talking about 15-minute cities for the longest. Because people who are not in them cities gonna be catching straight hell. And gathering from the conference and all these things, they using Miami as a bridge to the New World Order.
Well, Salakia, real quick, Trump said Miami is the bridge between North America and South America.
Right.
And they want really for that and for the New World Order. Now, what is Miami's nickname?
Magic City.
Magic City. You said that he said that it's a leader of culture. By culture, they mean a leader of sodomy, a leader of people who don't believe in God, a leader of people who will straight up fucking go for the chip
Right.
and all these different things. Is when you come to Miami, it's straight up wicked. We've been saying this for years.
Yeah, Miami
So
is one of the most wicked cities to ever exist.
It's prime. There's no spirituality here with these people. So it's prime for what they want to push out for this new world order.
You brothers that visited Miami, you see what time it is.
Yeah.
Right, right. And Miami, you know, it's known as Magic City. Okay, it's kind of known as Sin City in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Vice City.
It's Vice City. You know, it's a lot of different forms of witchcraft that people practice down here.
Yep.
Whether you want to talk about voodoo or Santeria,
Right.
people that are into Scientology. You got many Freemason lodges.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Big
big time down here. You know, you got people that are into Eastern religions like you know, Hinduism, Buddhism. You got Muslims down here. You got people that are into Kabbalah and Judaism and you know, Christianity, different forms of Christianity. Okay, so yes, witchcraft is a very big thing down here. And you know, like the brother Ramak was saying, yeah, Miami is a very wicked city, man. You know, you got a lot of prostitution down here, a lot of adultery, a lot of you know, drug trafficking, human trafficking happens a lot down here. A lot of financial corruption. The people down here are extremely vain and proud as fuck. Okay, they're all about their lust and their mirth. You really have to have a strong spirit to really live in South Florida and be in its truth. Okay, because it's always so much distraction, and a lot of the distraction is really not even necessarily wicked. You know, you can have a good time, but it's just so engulfing. And it's so all consuming that if you're not in the spirit, it will swallow you whole. Easily. And you'll be thinking, I'm not doing nothing wrong technically, but you're really in the world.
Very
You know,
subtle.
it's very very subtle, very seductive.
Yep.
Okay, you know, so and you know, they were talking about culture. You know, people in Miami tend to be very up on trends. So if they bring some type of, you know, chip or UBI down here or anything like that, people gonna go for it easy. You know what I'm saying?
If I may say, one of the major sponsors of the event was the Faina Hotel. Which is a hotel on South Beach, and I watched a video months ago about the Faina Hotel, and it's basically a Freemason hotel. They have like artwork with the square and compass in the hotel, and they have a lot of occult symbolism within the hotel. They say they host a lot of basically Diddy parties.
It's always busy out there. Always.
Remember I believe it was you, Playboy headquarters in Miami. They left the West Coast, somewhere in the West Coast, and now the Playboy headquarters is in Miami Beach.
And it's not a coincidence that the zip codes in Miami begin with 33. So, the reason, you know what the 33 is all about, but us bringing this out, the reason why we're bringing this out, why the Spirit has us bringing this out, is basically Miami is a good gauge of the New World Order. You know? So, we have a good visual of how things going, and we can measure the time based off what we see here. You know, to report back to you brothers, right?
Also, I showed this to Elder Benatazak, and Z was there. And I told certain brothers, South Florida is also known as now South Wall Street. Okay, so you know, I actually looked it up.
They got that digital bull.
The term, this is from AI Overview, Wall Street or Wall Street of the South, or South Wall Street, or Wall Street South, refers to the concentration of financial and corporate businesses in South Florida, particularly Palm Beach County and Miami, driven by factors like favorable business climate, lower taxes, and high quality of life. And that's what they're pushing, that illusion. You know? Says the influx has led to the relocation of major firms, the growth of related professional services, and the nickname spread across the region. There you go. So, they have it. So basically, all of what they're saying is all the fat cats in Wall Street, a lot of them said, the hell with New York, we're going to South Florida. You know? And this is where we're going to continue our, you know, ambitions for the New World Order.
Right.
You know?
If I might say, because I spoke earlier too about how what's the mayor name? Mayor Suarez.
Yeah,
I
Francis
was
Suarez.
going back and forth to New York and stuff like that. But downtown Miami, the Brickell City Center, that's like the new Midtown Manhattan, New York down here
Yeah.
in Miami right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There you go.
That area right there, that's like you in Midtown Manhattan, New York.
Right.
And that's-
Miami.
That's definitely a 15-minute city, the way Brickell is set up.
Oh yeah.
Just bring that out. Mark.
Well, even the way downtown Miami
Mhm.
and as a whole is set
Yeah,
up.
Yep.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got the magnet train.
Right. Bullet train.
That little bullet magnet train.
Yeah.
The,
Right
Metro-
line. Right line.
Right.
The Metro,
Metro?
the Metro mover. That's
Metro
what it is.
mover,
Yes.
okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying? You got that. Then you got the bright line. That's another thing.
South Florida as a whole. Trump is right there in Mar-a-Lago. That's
Yeah.
West Palm. So you got the Trump International Resort. All South Florida as a whole is big enough for this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doral, he got
Right.
he got
Around.
places in Doral.
Right.
Right.
You know.
And next year, you brought it out. G20 Summit.
Yeah, the G20 Summit.
G20 Summit. All
Here.
happening in South
And
Florida.
the World Cup.
And the
World
World
Cup.
Cup. The World Cup.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. It's the World Cup. Babylon is that golden cup.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
But look all the tourists too. The tourists them down here.
Oh,
Yeah.
We driving, we be people from everywhere. Argentina, Brazil,
Yep.
Europe, UK, India, there's people from all over. Look what's happening in Vegas. It's flat, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing going on in Vegas right now.
The
Change
head-
the tourists.
Yeah, because you can gamble down here.
The head of the World Cup was there too,
Yep.
speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I want to bring this out real quick. Somebody get Jeremiah. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord. Yeah. Because this is all just an attempt to heal Babylon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I got a precept for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So bring out that with the golden cup.
Bring it
The
out.
elder said he should bring it.
This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right. So Babylon it has been used by the Lord to basically get the nations intoxicated in wickedness so that they can all get judged. Okay. All right. And you know, like your brother said, the World Cup. All right, it's coming down here, man. So Miami is being used by Babylon to help influence the other nations, man.
I think the Olympics.
Okay.
The Olympics also is going to give him record too.
Yeah. LA.
LA, right?
2028 LA. Mm-hmm.
That's why they had no fires.
Yep.
Right, clear it out.
Yeah, you gotta build 15 minute grids.
Yes. Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. I read it again. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Verse 8 says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed.
That's right. So this is all an attempt to heal Babylon.
Make it a great again.
Okay, make Babylon great again. You know, by using cities like Miami and South Florida as a whole to influence the world towards this New World Order agenda. Like the brother was saying, they want to use Miami as a bridge to the New World Order.
And it's an illusion. It's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
An illusion of this is the new world order.
Right. It's an illusion of prosperity.
Yeah,
All right, because Miami also has that spirit too, a spirit of illusion of prosperity, even though this is witchcraft. Even though this shit is bullshit down here.
What better way to make it look all pretty? We got beaches
Right.
and pretty
Palm trees.
Latino women
Yep.
everywhere.
Skyscrapers.
Skyscrapers.
That's why they're pushing that
You know what I'm saying?
GTA 6 is based in Miami.
Right.
Video game GTA 6.
And this shit
Right.
is like a video game.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
noticing that a lot. Like, this shit really is a fucking video game.
Yeah.
People who are NPCs down here.
Yep.
Oh, might I say too, Salaki,
What were you gonna say?
when you think about the founding of America,
Yeah.
I mean, Miami was actually was a playground for the rich.
Yeah, from the beginning.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They call it
Right.
the retirement state.
Yeah. Rich man's paradise. Quoted by the law of Quran.
Right. And if brothers didn't know, the word Miami actually means big waters,
Big water.
or in other words, many waters. Okay, Mayam. When you actually go to the actual Native American word where the city is actually named after, it's actually named after a tribe of people who lived around Lake Okeechobee, and they were known as the Miami people.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was known as Lake Miami. And there's a river that flows from Lake Okeechobee, once known as Lake Miami, and that river today is called the Miami or the Miami River, and that's where this city gets its name from. Okay, so now we understand in the scriptures what many waters represents people.
Yep.
Population's a melting pot, a hub.
Yep.
Okay, so Miami really embodies the spirit of Babylon.
Yep.
It's a microcosm.
It's a microcosm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
more so than a lot of cities in America do.
Especially now.
And we not exact. We not just saying it, you know, like we repping 305 like fuck.
No, because it ain't the same. It ain't the same Miami that we grew up in.
Right.
It's not. It's
Nah.
hella more weirdos and shit from everywhere
Oh, yeah.
here now.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All type of modes and
Yeah.
trainings and all type of shit. Weird people from everywhere, purple hair. It ain't we ain't repping. It's just we seeing what we see now.
Yeah, we see.
We can speak on it because we
Yeah.
hear.
Right.
Like you
We
said,
got
Officer
Lionel Messi
Gage.
playing at the fucking
Yeah.
stadium right there. Lionel Messi, the biggest athlete in the world.
Right.
And they built that stadium
You know?
within the past, 5 years?
Mhm.
Something like that?
Right.
You know?
We have a new one built by the airport right now.
Yeah, they built that within a matter of months.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabar, what were you gonna bring out? What article you gonna bring out real quickly?
Oh yeah, this is from the newswire.com. It says New Yorkers relocating in record numbers as West Palm Beach emerges as America's next great power city.
There you go. That's South Florida.
Right. West Palm Beach, that's South Florida.
Right. That's Mar-a-Lago. That's Trump's hometown.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
got a little bit more on it.
That's the Tri-County area: Dade County, Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and Palm Beach County, man.
Yep.
And West Palm Beach is, I believe, it's the largest city in Palm Beach County. Okay, and it's no coincidence why there's so many camps down here in Florida. It's like 7 camps down here in Florida.
Yep.
If brothers didn't know, it's like 7 camps down here. Okay, on the East Coast, the West Coast, the northern part of Florida, and Central Florida, all where these major cities are at. Metropolitan, metropolitan hustle and bustle cities, man. Urban areas that are growing and expanding, and it makes a lot of sense because when you actually look at it, for the past 10 or 20 years, it hasn't really been that many hurricanes to really.
No, they just
They divert.
They-
It's just
you know
from
what I'm saying?
Miami.
They
We was just talking about
We were
that.
talking about
We
They-
was just
they're
talking about that.
It's bro, it's no coincidence. They're probably using
Yep.
their weather modification
To make the hurricanes curve.
Yeah.
to make the hurricanes curve.
Because it'll look like you'll see the
Yeah.
hurricane coming to
And then it just-
Miami, and that bitch is
Yep.
just turning.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
there hasn't really been any major storms like how it was back in the early 2000s. Hurricane Wilma, you know what I'm saying? Hurricane Katrina, you know, Hurricane Andrew.
Francis.
You know, Hurricane. It's not like that. It has not been that like that for the past 20 years.
Yep.
The last major hurricane we had was like Hurricane Ian, and that hit, you know, more so by Sanibel Beach, you know, on the West Coast. Okay, but they recovered relatively quickly, and a lot of the stuff that was damaged out there, that's such a sparsely populated area that it wasn't even nothing. And then what's crazy is that right after that Hurricane Ian hit Southwest Florida, you had a lot of investors, a lot of real estate
Buying it up.
investors from up north buying the land up, man.
Yep.
Okay, so which goes into disaster capitalism and all of that, man. So this is all by design, man.
Yep.
You know, all of it is by design.
Yep. Got a little bit more on it. It says the vision is already materializing. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan have expanded their operations in Palm Beach County.
Look at that.
While hedge funds and private equity firms continue to establish satellite offices in the city, earning it the new nickname Wall Street South.
There you go.
And we you know that's Trump City. But really, you going that was Epstein City too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Epstein lived in
Palm Beach County.
Palm
Yep.
Beach County.
Yep.
Yep. A little bit more. Last part. It says Palm Beach County now ranks among the nation's top destinations for wealth migration. Between 2020 and 2021, new residents brought in more than $7 billion in taxable income, the largest increase of any county in the country.
Wow.
Over the last decade, the number of millionaires in the Palm Beaches have surged 93%, reflecting unprecedented growth and confidence in the region's future.
Right. Which makes a lot of sense why the prices of everything in
Going
South
up.
Florida is going up.
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got these big wigs
Yep.
coming with money.
Right,
Yep.
right,
They're
right.
rich.
You know, they're rich, so it's like, okay, yeah, we can keep this economy down here booming because they're gonna come with the money.
Yep.
Okay.
Crypto bros.
Yep.
And
Crypto.
Crypto bros.
Yeah.
even people who doing well, they might be super rich, but they're doing well. They have their jobs like in New York, but they're working remotely, but they live down here.
Yeah.
They still could get that money from New York, but they don't gotta physically be there.
Right.
They
Right.
down here because they can afford it. That's what's costing your rent to go up too.
Right.
Because they coming down, they could afford things, but we can't afford it. Because they getting that New York money,
Right.
and California money, but
Right.
they're working remotely, but
Right.
they live here.
Exactly.
So
So they ain't getting taxed like how they getting taxed in all these
There you
other
go.
places.
Yeah.
So they,
You know what I'm saying?
stealing money
Right.
basically from
Basically.
other places.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
There's a lot of open land in Florida.
Right.
When you actually look at Florida, how it's mapped out and where the metro, like the major urban areas are, it's very spaced out.
Yeah.
You got South Florida, you got Central Florida, which is like Orlando. You got a couple small towns dispersed in between. You know, then you got like Fort Myers area, which is kind of growing Naples, you know, which is again a lot of old rich Edomites. You know, that's more like a retirement area too. You got Tampa, and then once you get past Central Florida, Orlando area, you got to drive at least another 4 hours just to get to Jacksonville. You know,
About 2 or 3.
you know. So come on, man. It's all spaced out. So which means there's a lot of free land, a lot of prime real estate for people to come down here and invest. Okay.
I got a precept.
That happened with like Port St. Lucie, like people they was like living in like ground like South Florida. Now everybody's moving
Port
up
St.
because the
Lucie.
cost of living.
Yep. Yep.
If I can say this too, you come to Miami, all you see is Lambos,
Yep.
Rarries,
Maybachs.
McLarens, Porsches.
Exotic cars. What do you see?
That's it. That's all you see.
It's gotten to a point you see these exotic cars, they don't mean nothing. They're not really
Right.
special.
Like,
Exactly.
G-Wagons,
Yeah.
like, what?
I got a precept.
I was just to the gas station
Yeah.
not too long ago getting some gas, and this girl rolled up on me. She was in a mean ass Bentley, big body Bentley. She looked like a dancer, like she danced or some shit. When I see the Bentley roll up, she come and say, "What the
It's the OnlyFans.
crazy
right
Bentley?"
Mhm.
That's how it is in South Florida.
And social media influencers.
Right.
Creators, content creators.
Bring out that piece, bro.
Come. So this is the book of Ezekiel. You know, I'm gonna start at Ezekiel chapter 28. I'm gonna start at 2, but the point is in 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it says, "Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrese, thus saith the Lord God, because thy heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not a God, though thou set thy heart as the heart of the Most High," right? And you know, the modern day prince of Tyrese are these Edomites, all right? And they think by their wealth they're gods, and they can do whatever they want. Like you were saying, when it comes to the damage with these hurricanes, these Edomites look at it as opportunity, capitalism. Like, yes, we can buy up all the land on the cheap, and then build our hotels or build our condominiums, and then charge people an arm and a leg, right? And this is this God complex that these devils have, especially Amalek. That's another thing. South Florida has, I believe, the most Amalekites now.
Yeah, Amalek is heavy down here.
Boca Raton,
Yeah.
right? Boca, we want to teach here. Yeah, Boca Raton.
They got
That was-
not mosques. What are them shits called?
Synagogue.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amalek is heavy down here.
Yep.
And a lot of them are crypto
Yeah, big in crypto.
too.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like what they call crypto J's.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily keep the traditions or may not wear the yarmulke.
Yeah, like
technically they're
the king of Miami, what's his name? Moshe.
Moshe Manor.
Moshe Manny. You never would have thought. You thought he was Northern Kingdom.
Kind of like a circular Jew.
Yeah, So
Yeah. So what the brother means is that a lot of the Amalek down here, what they'll do is they'll intermarry with Asher
Right.
Yes.
and Manasseh, Ephraim.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Intermarry with Zebulon and Naphtali, and then try to pass. And they speak Spanish fluently too.
Yeah, Spanish, yep.
They,
Very
and
good.
then you look at them, you think, oh, that's you know what I'm saying? That's Northern tribe. That's you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's Eduardo.
Right.
Whole time It's Amalekite, man.
That's it,
Yup.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They sent, for one, they sent money to Argentina.
Yeah.
You had the
The beef deal,
right.
well, president or everything.
He was at the thing.
Yeah.
You had Lionel Messi there.
Yeah.
So they in cahoots with Argentina. You know they got a major population of Amalek. So you got a lot of that over here, man.
Yep.
You know.
Got more on this. Verse 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Right? These Edomites look into everything. Okay? They got everything, okay, in a carnal way calculated. You know, how they're going to build this. You know, what Miami's destined for. You know, Chicago, they're done with that. You know, I just told the brothers, Chicago's pension liability. All right, they have a pension liability like a 73 billion in the hole, and that 80% of the property taxes goes to this liability. Just 80% of property taxes, man. So that's why they're sending ICE and all that shit in there. All right, because they know Chicago's gonna fall. Property, 80% of property tax going strictly to pensions.
Right.
That's nasty work right there.
So if the housing, when the housing market crashes,
Yeah, when
that's a wrap.
that's right, and that's why ICE is being utilized and going after Jake so hard. Now Latin Kings are killing federal agents.
Right.
So all it takes is Donald Trump to say, "Hey, Latin Kings, you're now a terrorist group." Boom.
Right.
You got military presence all throughout Chicago, and they'll stay there. And that's what's coming.
They could be agent provocateurs.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want to say to your point too, they keep moving the goalpost when it comes to retirement age.
Yeah.
It was 62, then it was 65, now it's 66 and 10 months.
Yep.
Yeah, 67 now, 66 and 10 months.
Right.
Right, 2 months shy of 67.
Right.
So ain't gonna be social security for these people.
Right. No
And
social
now Trump
security.
just proposed 50-year mortgages.
Yep.
So how you gonna pay for your house with a 50? The only person who wins is the banks.
But it goes into the agenda. You will own nothing and be happy.
Right.
Yep.
Brothers, I had put it in a group a while ago. You remember Jeff Bezos is riding on the Miami River.
Mm-hmm.
This is some months ago, probably.
Yeah.
And the boat said, "Stay broke." He ain't broke.
Right.
So who you talking to?
Yeah.
Right.
You
They
know.
know. They know.
Yep.
That's why, hey, this scripture is so fitting. Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Verse 4, with thy wisdom and with thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. 5, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. Now, when you go into that word traffic, it means merchandise. Okay?
But you got the traffic.
Traffic. Yeah, actual traffic.
Is fucking
Yeah.
off the charts.
Yep.
Getting like LA.
Yep. Hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right.
See that? Okay. This is why Babylon 3 is going to fall so hard.
Right.
All right, because this is because of Esau, Edom. You know, start with them JJs in 1940, the small hats. All right, they use money. They uplift themselves with their money and think that they're a god and no one can touch them. You know, that's why this fall is going to be so hard here in America. 6, therefore thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast said in thy heart as the heart of God. 7, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Right, because, hey, them caterpillars are coming, man. As you see, oh, that was another thing. I don't know if you saw, but I did a lesson on it. Donald Trump did say in that conference that, yeah, you know, we're engaging in wars that, you know, we don't win, but that's because, you know, these wars are, you know, we're in there for 15 years, we bombed them, you know, make their lives miserable, and we're there forever. Creating wars forever. That's what he said.
Yeah, I remember.
So that's some prideful shit to say to the whole world that we're engaging in these wars and we know we're not winning them. We're just there to bomb you and make your lives miserable. All right?
Yeah, they were speaking, Trump and others, they were speaking like nobody was going to see that.
Yeah.
And, you know, we live down here. Ain't none of us heard about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was not many people there.
Right. That conference was kept on the hush hush.
Yeah.
They kept it on the low profile. That's how you know major shit was going down. Because how come CNN and Fox or CNBC reported? They didn't say shit.
Why didn't Miami Herald?
Exactly. They kept that shit in the dark. So yeah, you're right. But hey, that's why the Lord's gonna get you, devils. 8, they shall bring thee down to the pit, meaning the grave, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. There you go. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept. Because at the end of the day, we know the counsel of the Lord is what's going to stand. Esau say he going to build, right? And the Lord say he going to throw down. You see? This is so we know it doesn't matter what they do at the end, it's not going to work.
No.
This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 14. It says, "The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof." And we know this that Egypt is a code word for America in this chapter. So it says, "As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt." So it's going to come a point where he no longer got me be working. Okay, this guy got droves and droves of robots about to come up to replace these people in their jobs.
Oh, speaking of the robots, Miami is the first city with autonomous police vehicles, fully autonomous
Yes.
AI police vehicles.
Yep.
And the Tesla taxi thing is coming through.
Yep.
Say that one more time.
Tesla taxi.
Taxis.
The automated taxis.
Oh wow,
So AI is taking our jobs from corporate levels down to blue collar levels.
down to fucking Uber.
Right.
They got the robots
Right. That's,
going through radio control robots delivering the food.
yeah, that's Jake's.
Right. And we see that every time we go out to camp on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we're in downtown Miami.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which we prophesy right across from the Alfred DuPont building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And right where the conference was at, we prophesied there before for years.
Oh.
Remember, right at Bayside.
Oh,
Bayside,
yeah.
That's
So
right.
the conference was at
That's
the
what it's at. Right? It was
was it Cassette Center?
Now they call it Kaseya
Kaseya Center.
IT
Formerly was American
management
Airlines.
company.
They changed
Right.
Yeah, the state where the conference is at, it's literally like a 5-7 minute walk.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
not even walking fast.
Yes, Cassette, and Cassette means
Yeah,
protector,
well,
defender.
Right.
Right.
That's them devils saying, you know, they're trying to protect their kingdom. You know, Cassette. Out of all the names, that's a Native American word which means protector, defender.
Right.
You know.
Wow. So I mean we're seeing it
Yep.
live in effect, man.
Trump said, Department of War.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned that too.
Yep. Department of War. Yep.
You can't make this shit up.
God.
The Lord has mingled the perverse spirit, but it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'll finish read verse 15. It says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it." So the Lord, he done mingle up a perverse spirit in this place. Ain't nothing that they do gonna work. Don't care how pretty it look. The end result is
Destruction.
destruction is gonna come.
Right.
That's right. I had a precept.
That's why I wait for that chip. Because once they make that chip mandatory, that's when the destruction. That's it. And end of your this whole NWO thought, like I'm gonna get my NWO, that the Phoenix rise out of the ashes, ain't gonna happen. Once you make that chip mandatory, destruction, the fire comes.
Come after the prophets
Yep, that's another thing. You touch the prophets, it's game on, bro.
because speaking of us specifically, they know about it. Like we've been preaching at the gates,
Yep.
for years. So they already know they gotta have to deal with us.
Especially that. Especially now, all these celebrities and all these big bankers are coming down here.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got one more verse. Isaiah 19 and verse 17, it says, "And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it." At the end of the day, it's the counsel of the Lord is what's going to stand. You know, like Trump was saying the other day, it's not going to be a World War III. Like we listening to you.
Yeah. Nah, they listening to us. That's why fear fell upon them when we stood upon our feet, man.
Right.
Them elites are scared, bro. You know, they don't let this bravado, with the media. They're scared, bro.
Hey, if I may say, not long ago I was downtown Miami, and I had a dude walk up to me. He told me he was a 33-degree Mason, right? And he told me they know World War III is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that, I asked him, is Trump a Mason? He said 100%. No, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's part of the Scottish Rite. And he said, we know World War III is coming. We don't want it to happen though.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said, I saw in his eyes, I saw that fear.
Mm-hmm.
But they know.
Right. Oh, of course they know. They're building bunkers.
Right.
So why are you building bunkers? Because you know.
Right. That's why you gotta be locked in the spirit, and you take all these different things, and we seeing them build up to it. Hey, the Lord said He gonna speed up the times. Watch ye and pray. You know not what hour. You know the Lord is gonna throw the monkey wrenches into their plans, to where they gonna have to speed it up for the elect's sake. Because part of their plans is to squeeze to kill us all. You know.
And I wanted to mention that earlier when the bishop was talking about how the rich elite, they don't care about the people. A lot of these people are going to be casualties, but the point what I wanted to bring out is they already tell you this already in their Georgia Guidestones.
Right.
Maintain humanity under 500 million.
Right. They talking about sustainable development.
Right.
That means wipe a lot of people out.
Right.
So that, which is, they try to make it sound, peaceable, but really it's about death. It's not about preserving the earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, it's about killing a lot of people as a ritualistic blood sacrifice for their New World Order image.
Sick.
Okay? It's sick, it's demented, and it's really rooted in greed and covetousness, man.
Right.
That's why the scriptures say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how he enlargeth his desire is hell and is his death.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's willing to kill a lot of people to bring his vision to pass.
We saw it with the jab.
You know?
Right.
That jab, man, they got a lot of old heads and a lot of young men. Heart problems.
Yeah, a lot of young women too.
Young women too, yeah.
You know, a lot of people are infertile behind that.
Yep.
A lot of women had a lot of miscarriages behind that.
Yep.
Deformed children.
Yep.
You know, they're impotent. They can't have children. They can't produce breast milk.
A lot of men, they sperm counts.
Low through.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and then countries where people were the most left hook, right hook jab, okay, like Japan, the birth rates are at a standstill.
Yep.
Okay, and on a decline.
Yeah, they're on decline.
All right, worldwide, especially mainly in countries where the jabberoonie was really a force that people just went and took it.
Yep.
Even in
Okay.
Israel.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go, man. This is all by design. They wanna decrease the population. They wanna bring a lot of these cities to ruin. All right, but still prop up other cities so that they can have an easier population to control.
Right.
Okay.
Because they're corralling
Yeah.
what they call the cattle.
Right.
The
Yeah.
boying.
Right.
I gotta force them together to control
Well,
them.
look at the state of Florida. It's a peninsula.
Right. You
Right.
can't
Water
ignore
on
it.
all sides.
And mine is at the
At the
bottom.
bottom, you
If
can't
I can
escape.
force everybody down there,
Yeah.
or as many people as possible.
Yeah. Got it.
It's
Got it.
easy.
It's easy.
They can't escape.
Yep.
You know, which it's interesting how y'all use the word corral because the scriptures say that the enemy shall cast a trench about thee. Okay, a trench about thee, which a trench is basically like stakes to palisade to trap you in. Okay, and so not only are they going to do that, physically by forcing people into certain areas by design and forcing people out of certain areas by design. Okay, like cattle, but they're also going to use. That's also going to lead into the actual RFID chip, which is going to be that stigma, the child's eye stigma, that charagma, that mark. Okay, so they can mark you as their cattle and keep track of you. Okay, and dictate where you can go and where you can't go, what you can eat, what you cannot eat, what you can buy and what you cannot buy, and identify you as property.
Right.
Okay, these are things that they have been discussing for years openly at that.
Openly.
Okay.
Well, where they built Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
They built it down here.
Right.
Alligator Alcatraz.
You know? Even speaking on the Georgia Guidestones, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see anybody get arrested for blowing up the Georgia
Nope.
Guidestones.
Right.
Suspects, no nothing.
Still a mystery. Who took that stolen down?
So that show you, Esau did that shit.
Yep.
He did.
And why? Basically, they telling you
We
we
about to
about to do it.
It's go
It's
time.
over here.
Go time.
Yeah.
Ceremonious.
Yes, sir.
Real quick. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
That's right.
There we go.
And seeing right now, like Cap was saying, Esau's putting all these schemes together and trying to get his new world order. He's trying to force his way in with the grid and the meeting that Osh was at. You see how Esau is trying to set everything up so he can get this new world order kicking, but he's not going to accomplish it. You know, the Wadi Yabashim Yashai put his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We see these things. You know, Lord open our eyes to see these things and to put these things out here.
Right. And the scriptures say what? Right when he's about to fill his belly.
Yep.
Well, you got that, Kabar? Yeah. Bring it up. Bible shot.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain upon him while he is eating.
Right.
So when you feel like, you know, I'm right there at it. I'm about to get everybody see it, which, you know, we in the all go through the spirit, that's not gonna happen. Right, the Lord has to elect that set apart. But when he feel like he got his kingdom established, the Lord's gonna take it out of his hand. The scripture say that Saint shall take the kingdom.
Right. Ultimate rug pull.
So again, so like Miami is one of the key places
Yep.
to actually gauge that.
Mm-hmm.
To actually see the fullness of his sufficiency, you know, like it's almost going to come to pass, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to say because what Bishop was reading earlier, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, we know these things are going to lead up to when the bull strike him through. Like it's mentioned in the precept how that every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. We know that's going into the laborers. So there's going to come a time when it's going to finally have something to destroy, to break the camel's back, to get these people in the streets. Something is going to happen to get people finally out of just losing it.
Right. We know. They got various scenarios. False flag attack. Electrical grid down. All right. The money system coincide with the collapse of the finally this piece of shit dollar that they call has value. It really doesn't. You know, which you clearly see that they're killing the dollar.
Yeah.
You know, here it is. Layoffs are at an all-time high. Okay, people are struggling, but yet they're still printing more money and lowering interest rates down, causing more inflation. And then now Donald Trump said, "What? I'm gonna give you guys $2 grand."
Right.
What is that gonna do to the economy? It's gonna kill the dollar. Inflation, hyperinflation.
Same thing we seen in 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Because goods and services skyrocketed once they started giving everybody these fucking stimmies.
Right.
So it like you were saying, there's an event that's coming, but it's all leading to what they want. You know, we're out of chaos. That new world order with the chip.
And that's what the scriptures say. What manner the ruler of the CDB saw all they that dwell therein.
Right.
You see what we got rulership, right? These people, they know that they're doing evil, right? This is the reason why you have some of them going to live on military bases now. Why you got to live on a military base? Because you know you're doing fuckery.
Right. They want protection.
There you go.
I know you got something?
Very quick. Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So no new world order is going to be accomplished.
That's right. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, man. But so it's really all spiritual, man. Like this is all coming out, man, because we've been saying for years, you know, I know the Spirit's been on me to tell brothers down here how a lot of brothers from other places, other parts of the country going to end up moving down here, potentially moving down to Florida or Texas. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we see the trend happening, you know, within Babylon of a lot of people moving to these parts of the country, man, moving from up north to move down south.
Apostle Rakal, he moved to Texas.
Yeah, Apostle Rakal moved to Texas. God, you know?
When 2020 came, a lot of brothers came to visit.
Yeah, a lot of brothers came and visited down here. And me and Samak, we always been saying persecution might very well start down here in Miami. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just the way it's looking, because for all the talk of inflation and unemployment, which is something that's affecting South Florida too, it's still a grind out here.
Yeah.
Like people are getting up to go to work every day.
Yeah.
It's non-stop. The traffic is non-stop. Non-stop.
Non-stop.
Two
It
jobs.
used
Okay.
to be
Work, traffic.
so like it used to just be rush hour
Right. Rush
in
hour.
the morning and in the evening.
Right.
Now it's all day.
It's all day rush hour.
Well, that's like New York 2.0.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same thing.
You know what I'm saying? Working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, got a side hustle.
Everybody got 2 jobs.
Everybody.
You can't
Old
make it
lady,
up.
I work with old women, 70,
Yeah.
68. I work with a woman that's 78.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. You can't
People have people coming out of retirement.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And it's so expensive. And all that to say, a lot of what the economy is down here in South Florida is very service based.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, hospitality based, whether it's security, whether it's wining and dining, bread and
Nursing
circus, nursing homes.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Hotels, restaurants. That's a big thing. Transportation. That's a big thing. Maintenance. You know, hard labor, fixing the roads, the plumbing, construction. That's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, these people are getting paid pennies.
Yep.
So prices are going up. The people who are from down here want to leave, but they can't
Stuck.
because they're stuck. And then you got more people who are leaving from where they are, trying to come down here. So it's just it's like stuck between a rock and a hard place, man. Okay, a perfect environment for universal basic income. Right?
Yep.
A perfect environment for, hey, just take this RFID chip.
Yep.
That's the illusion.
Okay, perfect.
Down to this track.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just the rich and then the poor. There's no fucking middle class.
Right.
Yeah, they got rid of
Right.
At least you go from rich and poor.
Yeah, bring that out because Miami is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
Like
There's really no real middle class down
There
here.
isn't.
It hasn't been for a long time.
Working, poor, and rich.
Right.
like Apostle Har been mentioning in that movie Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, it's like a fucking Elysium down here.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't on top of
Mhm.
you.
2 different worlds, man.
You remember during the Royal Crown, the rich get the majority of their money they get during that time. When everybody would sit down, they was making billions.
Right.
Rich and poor.
That's how. Well, that was the thing. That's how they were able to take out their competitor, because the lockdowns were small mom and pop businesses.
There you go.
Yeah.
While the big box stores like Walmart, Home Depot,
Got rich.
they were open.
Yep.
You know, like you're like, damn. You know, but it was all part of the plan, because they're done. They don't want any more people to get to be at their level. All right, they already said it. They said, nope, you can't be a billionaire, millionaire. That's it. You know, fend for yourself. So that's why people are going to start crashing out, because when they start seeing that there's no hope, the grinding is ceasing. You know, the door to music low. When they look out the window, as it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, it's dark. That's when people are going to start crashing out, and that's when they'll bring out the robots and the drones and the military concentration camps, and yeah, there you go. Martial law is in your face. It's slow form now. It's behind the scenes, but you're gonna see it in your face in real time. You know.
At that conference,
Mhm.
when they say it was clear, like that's really one of the main reasons why they kept that thing on the hush like that.
Mhm.
If you was there, you hear the way these people talking. It's clear that Trump is for the rich.
Mhm.
He ain't for you average Edomites that voted for him. He don't give a damn about y'all.
Right. Yep.
He showed it this whole year.
Right.
Right. But he just knows how to. Because the thing about it is that the elites, they understand the nature of the nations. They understand the perpetual hatred that Esau has for Jacob. So they can play these different psyops to their own people, and their own people will support them even if it's to their own detriment. Because the average Edomite's not that smart.
No.
Okay, the average Edomite is an idiot. He knows he can talk big shit, big words, use big political bullshit. The nigga's stupid.
Yep.
Okay, as long as you can make him feel like he's better than a nigger,
Right.
Yep. That's
and,
it.
and that the niggers
hard
are the
R.
problem, he's gonna go for it every single
They fall
time.
for it.
Right.
And then on the back end, they're gonna see, oh shit, it's affecting us too.
It's a trap.
Me too.
You know, but it's usually years later.
Mhm.
Okay,
Just like ancient Rome,
Yep.
you know.
bread and circus. You know,
As long as you can, oh damn,
Right.
the niggers are the face of Snap and EBT, and it's being taken away from them. Yes, But whole time, the ones who is really living off of Snap EBT is your people.
Right.
They're crying.
They took away that bread and circus in ancient Rome, but it was too late for them to wake up.
Yep.
You know, and we're gonna see part 2 of that.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Right. Speaking of bread and circus, Trump also mentioned, which we already know, they're bringing next UFC is gonna be at the White House.
Yep.
That nigga is Nero. He was in the commentating box at the football game.
Oh.
You don't have presidents be at the football game. They put a camera on them. They speak. He's in the commentating box, actually commentating on the play.
What players? What
And in between the Fox analysts. Like I never seen this shit
They're looking at him all weird.
with a microphone.
Well, he went to the Super Bowl last
That is Nero. This is we at the end of this shit. All this lets us know we at the end.
Yeah.
You know, these Edomites, they're stupid too. The elites, the people at that conference, they're stupid because they're doing all this stuff as if the Most High ain't gonna do shit about it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, for one, we know that. All right, y'all agree that this shit is going down. They agree. They want it to go down. But like, you're foolish. Like, the Lord is not going to step in. You know?
Right. And really, it's like, how would I say it? It's like, you could describe it as like a science experiment. You know how like you'll have a certain like science experiment and you're blending different components and chemicals. But if you do like, let's say you got shaky hands and in 1 microgram of the powder that's part of this ingredient goes into that vessel extra, the whole shit will blow up. That's how it is with this whole New World Order system. It's like there are these different components that have to work perfectly just right for it to happen, but it's just so many variables that can make it just tip too far in one direction or the other.
Yep.
That's why they're building these bunkers, man, because they're anticipating things spiraling out of control. As much as they might agree to bring this whole chip system and all of that, you know, in the back of their mind, first of all, the Lord divided the nations from the beginning. All right? From the beginning, the Lord said that he made the ways of man diverse. All right? They tried this bullshit before with Nimrod. The Lord confounded their languages. And ever since then, even during the time of Nimrod, the families of the earth have always been fighting for control.
Right.
So you can sit there in a council with, you know, a council of Edom and Moab and Ammon and Ishmael and Ham and all these different nations, and they might agree to this beast system, this modern day Tower of Babel system, but in the back of their mind, they're still going to think about their own interests.
Yep.
Right.
The interest for my people, my nation, my family. No, but I have interest for my family.
Yep.
Okay, because everybody's racist.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Everybody's racist, man. And even within the races that the Lord created from the sons of Noah, there are still families within those races.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have a certain family of Moab that want things to go this way, and then the other family want to go that way.
Yep.
You might have a certain family of Edom that wanted to go like this, and the other family want to say, like, no, I want it like that.
House divided.
It's a house divided, and the nations have been like that from the jump. Okay, that's why when you look at the course of human history, recorded human history, all right, even outside of the scriptures, but of course with the scriptures, all you see is a constant cycle of violence, okay, and transferring of power and overthrowing of kingdoms and civil disputes and mass migrations and wars, because the families of the earth have been fighting for control over an earth that was not given to them for dominion. The one that the Lord gave dominion to the earth was Yahweh Shai, okay, and his people.
He's enraged.
Okay, they're raging, you know,
A good example of that.
to accomplish a vain thing. And that song, the second chapter, it says, "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." That's why the Lord's gonna laugh at them and have them in derision, man.
I was just going to say a good example of that is them fighting against each other is Alexander fought Darius.
Yep. And I want to add to what the elder said in scripture. Hey, this is milk scripture, Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right.
Everything the elder just said, hey, that's all you see throughout what they call secular history, or in the Bible, which really brings you the history of different major kingdoms, right? The Assyrian Babylonian kingdom fell, right? And you had the Persians, right? And they fell. And you have the Greeks, and then they fell. And you have the Roman Empire, then it fell. Okay, then you know, we were in rulership for 1,000 years, and then we fell. And these devils came back into power, what they call the Renaissance or the rebirth.
And they was fighting some more.
Fighting each other.
Right.
While they're pushing their, you know, their Edomite supremacy all throughout the earth.
Right, and then fighting some more after that.
Right.
Fighting some more.
The mission killed Titus.
Let's fight over here in North America.
Right.
They'll fight over here, over
Right.
North America.
Right now they're approaching the 250th year.
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow, as the scriptures say, the end with thought is that the house will last forever.
Right.
That's
You know?
not the Most High's plan.
You know?
Right.
And this, and even now, the American military is bombing different countries, bombing, you know, Russia's bombing fucking, they're same people, because the Ukrainians they're the same people as the Russians,
And
bombing their own people.
before it's all said and done, the beast gonna hate the horse.
Exactly.
So what we saying is gonna stand when we prophesy and we bring out these precepts on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about our kingdom that's coming, when we talk about Yahweh destroying them, they just saying
That's
stuff.
because it's the word of the Lord.
That's because it's the word of the Lord. That's all we saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So we see that what they're saying it lines up with the scriptures as far as they raging, you know, or they groping in the noonday and up in the noonday. That was daytime council or nighttime.
Yeah, daytime.
Daytime.
Early in the morning, started
See?
like,
Yup, during the day.
10 o'clock in the morning.
But nobody knew about it.
Yeah, tell you, it was,
Groping in the noonday.
bro, that was the most secretive fucking conference,
Wow.
right? But hey, man, it goes to show that, hey, the Lord is moving the chess pieces, because, hey, prophecy has to be fulfilled. These things have to happen so we get the hell up out of here. They have to push the RFID chip. They got to get this, you know, this digital prison house set right for the chip. So that's what we're seeing. And like Ash said, I think you said it perfectly. Miami's a good gauge.
Right.
Watch Miami. You know, Miami is basically what they want for their new world order.
It's a model.
It's a model. Exactly.
Right.
And,
You know?
and again, we not, like the brother Mark said, we not repping 305.
No.
Like, because he said, because the 305 we grew up
Right.
in, that shit was live. This shit,
Right.
this shit is booty.
Right.
You feel me? Like, it ain't for us no more.
Right.
But that's the spirit of the Lord. But at the same time, you know, it's a good gauge. It's a good model. You watch, like you said, it's a microcosm of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right, yeah. Makes a lot of sense because you got a lot of ports down here in Florida, especially Miami. Miami's a major port city. You know, Port of Miami. Yeah, across that album called Port of Miami.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
You know, Fort Lauderdale port. So you got a lot of that. You know, and like the brother said, we was literally prophesying. Scriptures say,
Yep.
wisdom cries without. She uttered her voice in the chief place of concourse.
Yep.
And the opening of the gates, we were really there.
Yep.
FaceTime, live.
You know what I'm saying? We still there.
Right.
You know?
Still out there.
You know, right where all the traffic, all the goods coming off the boats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Giant cartridges of goods coming off. We seeing it as we were at camp.
No King's Parade.
Right.
Right there.
Mhm.
Right, and the No Kings Parade, they had that shit right in front of where they had that conference at.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Right. You know?
I got a scripture. I guess we can close off with this, right,
Yeah.
brothers? Hey, it's an encouraging scripture for all of us. Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. This is Yahushua speaking. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Verse 17. For verily, meaning truly, I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them, right? And everything we're seeing is according to prophecy. Everything the prophets wrote, we're seeing it in real time, alive in color, man. All right, which goes to show you that we're almost out of here. You just got to hold on, you know, keep enduring, keep doing the right thing, you know. And, hey, salvation is near sooner than when we believe, you know.
Any other precepts?
I had a quick article that I found right now. This is from Yahoo Finance. It says Magic City, Miami, quietly charming its way to becoming America's next financial hub. This was posted July 18, 2025. It says Miami, Florida's iconic coastal city known for a vibrant skyline and even more vibrant nightlife, is making quiet resurgence as a major cryptocurrency hub in the U.S. The city was quick to embrace the crypto economy, with Mayor Francis Xavier Suarez accepting his paychecks and only crypto and declaring Miami the crypto capital of the world in 2021.
And Trump said the same thing. He said Miami is the crypto capital for America and the world. He said that several times. So yeah, Miami's a great gauge to see how close we are to getting up out of here.
God. Any other precepts?
Got one quick one.
Go ahead, brother.
This is 2 Timothy 13 verse 8, and it says, "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." You know, so all the, everything that Esau, Edom's doing, okay, with Ford and his NWO, it's only going to forward prophecy, man.
Right.
God. Any other precepts? God. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakadash.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. Kwame Yasharala.
Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.
Yeah.